Paro Sa'om. And when Paro sent out the people, I mean, seemingly, the Rechaim HaKodesh takes issue with this. It should say, V'hi Beshalach Paro es Yisroel. Right, what's a Om always means the ordinary or even the sinners. It's like the lowest level. I mean, sent out all Klal Yisrael. V'hi Beshalach Paro es Yisroel. V'lo nochem elokim derech eretz plishtim ki korafu. Hashem did not lead us derech eretz plishtim, the Philistine route, ki korafu, because it was close. Ki omer elokim pen yinochim ha'om. Again, pen yinochim ha'om. The people will have second thoughts. Birosim milchamo, when they'll be confronted with war. Rishav mitzroimo. We had the Melchemes Amalek. Okay, let's learn Pashut Pshat. We'll get to your question. Okay. Sometimes, if you understand, you put a good foundation, the answer, the question is easier to deal with. Okay. Okay. Let's try to understand simple Pshat. The Bishal Parasom lo nochem lo niagum kimo lech nechesom bislat lecho tantcho oscho ki korafu v'noach loshu bos aderech mitzroyim. What war would they see? If they would have gone the straight path, they would have returned. When he took them the circuitous route, they said, let us point a leader, let's return. So, HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows the reality. So, if you have this Kal V'chomer, but factually they didn't go back. So, if that's the case, taking the straight route, right? I think that's the question. Not making the miracle. Factually, even the circuitous route, they wanted to go back, and they would have gone back. But because there were things happened why they didn't go back. So whatever happened when they wanted to go back taking the circuitous route, same thing could have happened when they took the straight route. Derech HaPshuta. So what do you say on that? Rashi says, why, Pasuk says, why did he take the straight route? Because when they will be confronted with war, they'll want to go back. So Rashi makes a Kal V'chomer. It's Chazal. Here he takes them the circuitous route, and we find multiple times they wanted to go back. So if he would have taken them the straight route, definitely they would have gone to go back. So if they took them the circuitous, they wanted to go back. So why didn't they go back? Certain things didn't allow them to go back. Whatever didn't allow them to go back taking the circuitous route, those same things could have happened when they would have taken the straight route. So what do you say? As I say very often, to ask a question is not that difficult. So I'm thinking, I once said, we find that by Bria, by creation, Hashem says, regarding on the third day of creation, Eitz Pri Osa Pri. A fruit tree producing fruits. Rashi says originally the intent of creation was that even the wood, the bark should be edible. But factually it didn't manifest itself that way. It was Eitz Osa Pri. The tree produced fruit, but it itself wasn't edible, the tree itself. So, and what HaKadosh Baruch Hu tolerated. But Hashem allowed it. Why did he allow it? So what I said was that Adam failed. He failed. Should have destroyed the world. But he didn't destroy it. Just, let's start over again. He let things go on a defective level. Already from the third day, things didn't happen the way he said they should happen. It didn't manifest itself. So what I said was, what was Odom made from? When a person's chote, your chote, in terms of, does it emanate from your physicality, from your spirituality? From your physicality. So the material, the physical material that he was made of, the offer, the Adama, was defective. It was defective material. Because if it wouldn't have been defective, then there would have been no limud zchus on him. HaKadosh Baruch Hu allowed initially that there should be defective material, that there should be a limud zchus, that there should be a base of midas harachmim. He's not fully at fault. It's like a person has a certain handicap. He has certain things he's not able to fully process. You can't blame him fully. He's blamed. He has to be punished. But the full blame, to have that absolute clarity, he's not able to have. So it's similar here. Factually, we did want to go back. We did want to go back. But it wasn't as quickly. The circumstance had to be very extreme circumstance to want to go back. If we would have been closer, we would have wanted to go back more easily. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, more easily, so then there's a greater claim on you. If you say it reaches a critical point, that's when to go back, okay. But if it doesn't reach that critical point, you want to return, then there's a claim, much stronger claim against you. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu took them the more circuitous route. Either way, they're going to want to go back. But when in the circumstance of the more circuitous route, things had to reach a whole different level of difficulty to want to go back. So because of the extreme difficulty, therefore, the claim against the person is not as much as if it would be if it's not as extreme. That's what I was thinking.
Very hard for him to do this for science, but his time is so great that he does everything, even though all the obstacles. The time was so big, and he couldn't.
No. If you succeed, of course, it's a greater accomplishment. We're talking about if you fail. If a person it's not as difficult, and he fails. And he fails when it's much more difficult. Where's the claim against the person greater? Here we're talking about the failing part. We're not talking about the succeeding. Because he was concerned they would fail. So if they take the straight route and they fail, the claim is a much stronger claim. Because they're going to want to return when it's not as difficult. But here, even want to return because it has, in that situation, only when it's reached an extreme level, that's when you want to go back. Why would they have a change of heart? Because they'll think, why did we go out? It's interesting. Last week, I once said something to Rav Moshe Feinstein, which I heard directly from him once, that we find in last week's parsha it says that the reason why we have matzah is because they didn't say the law also him. They didn't prepare provisions for the trip. That's why we eat matzah. So Rav Moshe asks, they were told by Moshe Rabbeinu already, Rosh Chodesh Nisan, that they're going out on the 15th. So why don't they prepare? That was his question. So he said that there were many times they thought they were going out, and they were disappointed. So therefore, they made up emotionally, because it's how many times could you deal with a disappointment? So they made up in their minds when they see it's the reality of going out, then they'll prepare. So it comes out, but there's a difference. Initially, who said they were going to go out? Paro said he was going to send them out. HaKadosh Baruch Hu never said he was sending them out. They believed what Paro said. Moshe Rabbeinu never said they were going out. That was something that was their failing. They equated what Paro said to what Hashem said. Here Hashem said you're going out. When Hashem said you're going out, they should have prepared. So why did they prepare? The answer is it was a lack of bitachon. It was a lack of bitachon. That's why it's say the law Salahem. But factually, so he says, so what does the matzah represent? The matzah represents the failing, but simultaneously it teaches us a lesson that as dire, as ominous something may seem, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu says something, a Jew has to have faith. That's the symbolism of the matzah. That's what Moshe Feinstein said. You hear? The matzah represents, despite the way we perceive something, it seems to be an impossibility. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says it's going to be, it's going to be. That's the representation of matzah. So what he said was, say the law Salahem. So as a result of that, what does Rashi cite to Chazal? Say the law Salahem. That when the Navi says, Chesed Nurayich, Avos Klusayich, Lechtech Achra B'Midbar, Beretz Lo Zeruach. Hashem says, I will never forget the kindness of youth. When you followed me into an unplanted desert, that was a result of what? That was a result of our failing. If we would have provided, we would have prepared provisions. Of course we go into the desert. We were ready for the trek, right? But here, we weren't prepared. But why weren't we prepared? We failed. But what was the outgrowth of that failing? It showed our bitochen and in Amunah, in our Kodesh Baruch Hu. We were willing to go into Eretz Lo Zerua. We had sufficient faith. Hashem will provide. And that's why only 20% went out and 80% didn't go out, because they didn't have that level of faith. So it comes out like this. We have faith, Hashem will provide. All of a sudden, we're confronted with a war. You know, Hashem will take care of us. Like He'll take care of us regarding food. Like why we're being attacked. Attacked by Amalek, being attacked by Melech Canaan, all these things. What's going on over here? Yeah. So therefore, that's why we wanted to go back. But it's interesting. Why were we attacked by Amalek? HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted we should be. We failed. It was our failing. That's why we were attacked. But that's enough reason to go back. You understand? They'll see war. You know, it's like, you know, you go and you alert the enemy you're coming, that's where they attack you. You say, Hashem, you didn't protect us. What are you talking about? You have to get slapped. You have to be punished. You failed. That's the reason why you're being attacked. But you should have protected us. Well, you should have protected us. The reason why you're being attacked is because you deserve to be punished. Nevertheless, that's enough of a discouragement, you're going to go back. You following or not? In most cases, it's that way. We're at fault, but who we blame? HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Well, that's the way it always is. You know, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu is dying or emes, that means anytime we receive anything, we deserve it. Hashem, but why? What do you mean, well, why? What, are you such a tzaddik? But I didn't think it was that bad. Is it really that bad? You should only understand how bad it is. This is Midas HaRachmin. Midas Adin, you wouldn't survive. To be continued. No, they wouldn't have gone back. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wouldn't have allowed it. Like Lady didn't allow it. There was a Magefa. They were attacked. HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't allow it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want you to go back. You're not going back. So I'm telling you what the Kal V'chomer is. It's only in terms that's the question I asked. The Kal V'chomer is a good Kal V'chomer. It's the wanting to go back. Either way, you're not going back. But it won't be a claim. I thought you'd be there last night. And David Newman had a wedding last night. I was waiting to see your college suit, you know, the one that you graduated with. Okay. No. It's not a reward for the failing. The failing is a failing. But factually, in your present state that you have, it shows you betochen. Doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. The circumstance, the setting was because you failed. But now that you failed, now how do you go forward?